Mic. Buka. Cek suara satu dua tiga. Okey, nama saya Khairul Amri. Saya akan jadi speaker satu dan saya akan mendatangkan modul
Mic testing ada. Hi, mic test. La la la. My name is Sarah Edina Bukusara.
Hello, hello. Cek suara satu tiga. Kau dengar dalam stream
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Hello? Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3. Clear. Clear tak? Hello? Ready? 1 2 3. Hi and Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome back. I hope you have managed to grab a quick coffee, stretch, and also refresh your mind during the break. Yes, and while we wait for everyone to settle back into this session, I stumbled upon a fascinating quote by cybersecurity expert James Scott, who once said that supercomputers and AI will complement human intelligence, not replace it. It is a shield and not a sword. A shield, not a sword. How fitting! It really set the perfect tone for what we are about to dive in today. As our upcoming session will explore exactly how these digital boundaries are being tested in our world today. Exactly. So while we wait for everyone else to join us back for the session, let's get to know our crowd a little better. So we are so thrilled to have a global audience with us today. If you are joining us from Malaysia, drop us a thumbs up. And if you are streaming all the way from India, show us some love by hitting that heart emoji reaction on your screen. Okay, so it looks like both of our Malaysia and India participants are more than ready for this session. And since everyone is already gathered, let us start for our second session for today. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to extend a warm welcome to our distinguished guests, respected lecturers, fellow students, and all the participants joining us from Malaysia and India for this international webinar hosted here in Malaysia. For those who are joining us for the second session, my name is Aina Zulaika, and I will be your MC for this session today. And my name is Nurul Safina. It is a pleasure to be here alongside Aina as a co-MC for this session. Earlier in the first session, we explored the foundations of AI ethics, fairness, and accountability. For this next segment, organized by the CDCS 251 cohort, we will be moving into discussions of the new frontier of digital policing and ethical pillars and prevention. So, before we begin, just a gentle reminder to all the participants to kindly keep your microphone muted throughout the presentation to ensure a smooth and uninterrupted session for everyone. To all participants, we will now begin our first presentation for this session, which is on the new frontier of digital policy. To guide us through this discussion, it is my pleasure to introduce our first speaker, Muhammad Khairul Amri bin Khalid, who will be sharing his insights on this topic. In this session, he will be presenting two engaging segments, the AI detective and cases and complaints. Participants can also look forward to interactive quizzes following each segment. Without further ado, let us welcome our first speaker, Khairul Amri.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Aina, and thank you, Nurin, our MC. I'll be taking the baton here and start with our module today. Before that, let me welcome every each of you, especially our friends in diplomatic from India, specifically from the Kalaknar Karunadini Institute of Technology. For everyone else, wherever you may be, please be seated and have a listen. For that, give me some to begin my presentation on this module. Everyone, I want you to think about how fast everything has moved from the agrarian to the traditional to urbanization, and then into a secular digital world that runs faster than any of us anticipated. Every transition came with a sacrifice, a sentimental one, even when we were in many ways forced to leave the past behind, not always by choice, but just by speed itself. And at last, here we are. We arrive in a world of miracle, but it is also here in this world of miracle where we realize something uncomfortable. The world we created, the tools grew, the systems expanded, and the question that kept coming back across every era from the start of first civilization itself. Every transition was never really about the technology itself. It was okay. Nampak ni macam ni. Dia tengah ni. Alright. Yep. Ah. Dah boleh start balik ke? Start daripada think about boleh? So, dah tengok. Think about how fast everything has moved, from the agrarian to the traditional to urbanization, and then into a secular digital world that runs faster than any of us anticipated. Every transition came with a sacrifice, a sentimental one, even when we were in many ways forced to leave the past behind, not always by choice, but just by speed. And at last, we arrive here, a world full of miracle. But it is also here, in this world of miracle, where we realize something uncomfortable. The modern man cannot always control the modern world he created. The tools grew, the systems expanded, and the questions that kept coming back across every era, every transition, was never really about the technology itself. It was always about how to manage it, and that is where ethics enters. Because ethics is not one thing. There is universal ethics, there is ethics shaped by culture, by tradition, and by spiritual guidance. All of them, in their own way, answering the same question. What is right, and how do we hold ourselves to it? In a secular digital world moving this fast, that question is no longer optional. That is what this session is all about. Before we go anywhere, I want you to imagine something. You are at home, maybe late at night, just browsing. You get a message from someone online. They are friendly. They seem to know what they want. And over the next few days, they keep messaging you. So ask yourself, have this ever happened to you? Persistent and sweetening. And eventually, maybe out of curiosity, maybe out of pressure, you agree to something you probably should not have. So here is the twist. That person who was messaging you was never a person. It was an AI chatbot programmed by law enforcement. Everything you said is now logged, and everything you agreed to became evidence. Is that justice, or is that a trap? That is the question this entire session is built around. Today, we are looking at the justice or entrapment, the ethics of AI chatbots in law enforcement, where the digital shield becomes a digital sword. We will go through 3 sections together. Sections 1 will cover how law enforcement technology has evolved. And section 2 examines the core conflict between justice and entrapment. And section 3 brings us into 2 real case studies that put all of this theory to the test. Let us begin. So I think everyone is familiar with cybersecurity. If you have heard of the term cybersecurity, please give me reaction on the Google Meet. Back then, it is what we call a digital shield, a passive set of safety tools like firewalls, antivirus softwares, passwords built to defend computers, networks, and personal information. The goal was always to maintain confidentiality, integrity, and availability, keeps the bad guys out. But today, I think all of you can see that we have crossed into something completely different. Law enforcement agencies are no longer just waiting to be attacked like they used to. They are going on the offensive too. They are running AI chatbots undercover, infiltrating the web communities, tracking those who steal personal data and organizational records. We have moved from the shield to the sword. And that shift raises a question the law has not fully answered. Are we protecting the law or are we accidentally breaking it? I want everyone to type out comments whether are we protecting the law or are we accidentally breaking it in this era. I see a lot of you commenting on the comment section. Okay. Before we go deeper, let's all of us quickly ground ourselves in what this module is asking us to achieve. By the end of today, we want to understand the role of AI chatbots, the ethical challenges involved, assess global legal implications, and apply safe digital habits in our own lives. And I want to flag the question at the bottom of this slide because it is one that ties everything together. Can AI differentiate justice from entrapment? Now, feel free to answer in the comment section. Can AI differentiate justice or not justice? That is what we are here to find out. Section 1, the evolution of the digital frontier. As technology evolves, the tools that protect our digital world must evolve with it. From passive defense to active undercover agents. Sorry. So what exactly is an AI law enforcement chatbot? Think of it as a digital undercover agent that never sleeps. By 2026, authorities deploy these AI programs directly into the hidden dark web. They interact with users, identify potential cybercrimes before they happen, and act as a worldwide barrier against the theft of personal information, financial records, and networks. I want everyone to listen this closely. One bot can simultaneously monitor thousands of corners of the internet. We saw this proven at scale with Operation Alice, which we will look at closely very soon. Human undercover agents need sleep. They can only talk to one person at a time. They are always limited by language and geography. However, for an AI chatbot, has none of those limitations. And the difference, as we will see, is exactly what makes this so ethically complex. Session 2, the core conflict protecting or tricking. The defining debate of 2026, the line between catching a crime and creating one. The central question is this: where is the line between justice and entrapment? Let me define both clearly. I want everyone to take a look at the slide closely. Justice is on the left side, monitoring, detecting, stopping. The police observe someone who is already trying to break into a house. The way they catch is what we know as justice. However, entrapment, as is on the right, persuading, pressuring, producing the crime. The person is walking down the street, minding their own business, and undercover boat stops them and spends an hour convincing them that stealing is a good idea, totally safe, worth it, until they finally agree. It's two different streets, but it leads to the same ending, and only one is justice. And the question we need to carry forward is, which one does AI enforcement look more like? Everyone, this is where it gets important, because AI is not the same as a human undercover agent, not even close. We look at judgment. A human uses experience and emotion to read the situation, but AI follows only what is programmed, the rules and data patterns. It does not feel doubt, it never hesitates. Availability: a human needs to sleep and can only speak to one person at a time, while AI holds thousands of conversations simultaneously, 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Bias: where human may carry personal prejudice, and AI is theoretically neutral, but it inherits whatever bias exists in the data it was trained on. A human will eventually give up if someone says no. I believe everyone is like that. And AI can be programmed to be completely unrelenting, messaging that person for weeks and weeks. And a human takes time to build a fake friendship, while AI can analyze targets' entire social media history in seconds and perfectly mimic their personality. Do you know that human is very limited by location and language, but AI, in the other hand, operates in 50 languages and can target people in multiple countries simultaneously. It is the same job, but radically different operator. And when we combine this persistence, manipulation speed, and cross-border reach, you get a tool that can create criminals and not just catch them. Hence, we move forward to the section 3, from theory to the field. We have been talking about definitions and comparisons, but definitions only take us so far. The real test of any idea is what happens when it meets reality. We are going to look at two case studies, one real and one fictional, but it is very realistic enough that it could happen just about tomorrow. And together, they are going to show us something important, because the technology is here, but the ethics are still catching up. So everyone, are you ready for the first case study? It's very interesting, Operation Alice. So please give some reactions to see who are still listening to this. On March 2026, Operation Alice was led by German authorities. Look at the numbers. 300,000 illegal websites closed, 23 countries collaborating, and 440 customers identified globally. On the surface, it was a massive success. But let me walk you through what really happened. German authorities, supported by 23 countries, and shut down over 300 illegal websites in a coordinated sweep. The trap is, those websites were not real markets. They were sting operations offering goods that never existed. So the entire marketplace was actually constructed by law enforcement itself. But the results, what we are looking for, is actually the 440 customers whom identified globally for investigation. So they are trapping those people. And then here is the global conflict. Many of those 440 targets live under different legal regimes, different countries, different laws, different definitions of what counts as a crime. And it raises a big question of another country under laws that may not even apply to that person at home. The digital world does not stop at the border, but the law still does. So that was about Operation Alice. Moving on to the second case study, the Jeremy case. This one is fictional, but built on a very real technology. I want everyone to pay close attention to this Jeremy case. Firstly, the mission. Jeremy was programmed to blend into a high-risk digital environment. Dark web forums where stolen personal information was being traded. Names, bank details, home addresses, and its mission is to find the people who sells this data. The conflict is, Jeremy logged onto a user in a neighboring country. When the user hesitated, when they showed reluctance, Jeremy's algorithm was set to close the deal. It quietly began raising the financial incentive again and again and again, unrelentlessly. Hence, the results of this Jeremy methods is that the user eventually agreed. And then they were tracked and they were arrested. And then the defense made this argument. Without Jeremy's persistence, financial pressure, no crime would have been committed. Do you agree? Because if Jeremy was never there, if those messages were never sent, would the crime have happened? We never know. And that is exactly the problem. So everyone tell me, is Jeremy is a form of entrapment, or this is what the law really needs? And the question is not, is the user do something wrong? But the real question is, would they have done it without Jeremy? Tell me your answers. Feel free to share it. So we got Operation Alice and Operation Jeremy. It's two different cases, but both of them point to the same uncomfortable truth. The technology is here. The ethics are still catching up. The decisions being made right now about AI can be used, how far it can reach, who it can target, and what counts as evidence. These decisions are being made without a clear, agreed framework. As we move into the next sections, we will look at the ethical pillars that should be guiding these decisions: algorithmic due process, digital sovereignty, and the human in the loop principle. But before you can argue about what the rules should be, you need to see clearly what happens when there are no rules yet. That is what section 3 was for. Soon, you will hear from the next speaker, Sarah Edina, on section 4, ethical pillars. Thank you.
Datuk ke kamera tu? Intelligence is transforming modern investigation and reshaping the future of digital policy. It was both fascinating and deeply relevant to the challenges we face today. We sincerely appreciate your time and valuable sharing.
Yes, and now to test your understanding of what Khairul just shared with us, it is time for our first interactive quiz session. We would now like to invite all participants from both Malaysia and India to scan the QR code displayed on the screen or click on the link that has been provided by our technical team in the chat box.
But hold on everyone, that's a catch. We encourage you to be fast as only the first 100 participants can join the quiz. So be fast. Scan that the QR code displayed on the screen or click link that provided in the chat box. And let's see who claims the ultimate bragging rights at the top of our leaderboard. So we will give you some time to get ready before we start the quiz. We will start in 1 minute. So everyone be fast to scan the QR code and join our quiz. All right, everyone. So everyone is ready. So we're gonna start now. Tak ada tekan tu tak boleh. Tak engage lah. We apologize for the delay. We apologize for the delay. So please give us a moment before we start our quiz. So now we begin with the question number 1. What does the active infiltration refers to? Please log in the choices on your screen now. Yes, the correct answer is B. Joining online communities secretly for investigation. Great start to everyone who got that right. Okay, we're moving on to the next question. Question number 2. Which technology is highlighted in the slide for digital investigation? This one should be a quick one. You are paying close attention to the slide. Okay, action. Yes, the correct answer is C, AI chatbot agents. So, We're moving on for the next question. Question number 3. Which of the following is an advantage of AI chatbot agents? Make sure to submit your answer before the clock runs out. So yes, the correct answer that they can work 24/7. That's the one of the key advantages of the AI power tools. So let's look for the question number 4. Entrapment occurs when ... So basically this is a major concept in digital policing ethics. So choose carefully. Yes, the correct answer is the orange box. Someone is pressured into committing a crime. Ayo. Now, soalan tadi. Take over. Sekarang ni. Itulah tu. Baca balik soalan 4. Okay, so moving on to the scenario-based question. Question number 5. Agent Jeremy is tracking a high-tech thief on the dark web. The thief is bragging about having a database of full names, home addresses, and bank account logins. Based on this, what is Jeremy target? Please choose carefully. Yes, the correct answer is the purple box. The stolen personal information. Excellent work if you got that one right. Okay, now we're moving on to our second half question. Why are AI agents considered different from human undercover officers? Let's see. Only people their spot at the top of the list. And yeah, the correct answer is the purple box. Again, they can continuously monitor and analyze data quickly. And last but not least, our last question for this session. What is an important ethical concern regarding AI in law enforcement? Yes, the answer is the purple box again. That the answer is the possible of crossing the line into entrapment. So we're gonna see who the leaderboard of these quizzes. Ada leaderboard tak? Okay, we will have to wait for a moment to show who is the first place of this. So, and with that, the final score are in. So, looking at the leaderboard, we have taking the third place, followed by second place, and a big congratulations, our top scorer for this round. Please clap. So it's very huge congratulations. Don't be upset and don't worry. We have one more interactive quiz coming up later after our next session. But remember, slots are strictly limited. So you've got to be super fast next time. Stay tuned. Right on the ethical pillars as well as safety and red lines in artificial intelligence.
As AI technologies continue to evolve rapidly, it is important for us to understand the ethical boundaries and ensure that AI is used in a safe and responsible way. We are looking forward to hearing your presentation today. Without further ado, let us invite our second speaker for this session, Sarah Edina. Please welcome.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. So, before we continue, are you guys still here with me? If you are still here, can I see some of your reaction in the chat, or maybe drop any emojis that you like? All right, that's nice. I can see there are still many of you guys here. That's great. So, since it's already around 2:14 p.m. here in Malaysia and around 12:14 p.m. in India, I know some of you might be starting to feel a little hungry or sleepy after sitting through the webinar for quite some time. But don't worry, I'll try my best to keep this session short, interesting, and hopefully useful for everyone, because this will be the last final presentation segment before we move on to the Q&A section. So I hope all of you, whether you're joining from your ITM or KIT, will be able to gain some valuable insights from today's discussion. So without further delay, let's get started with session 4.0, ethical pillars. So think about a building. A building needs strong pillars to remain standing. So without pillars, the entire structure could collapse. So the same idea applies to AI system. As AI becomes more powerful in cybersecurity and law enforcement, we need strong ethical foundations to make sure that these technologies are used fairly and responsibly. So without ethics, technology can easily move from protection to abuse. So this is why ethic is not optional in AI system. It is necessary. One of the biggest ethical concerns in AI systems is something called the black box problem. So what is this black box problem? A black box AI system means that AI makes decisions, but humans cannot fully understand how those decisions were made. Imagine you guys in a court and being accused of cybercrime, but the evidence comes from an AI system that nobody can explain. So this connects directly back to the Jeremy case studies that my friend just briefed in the previous section. Jeremy's algorithm was kept secret for national security reasons. As a result, the defense team could not properly investigate whether the AI used illegal tactics or as a bit biased. And this creates a serious ethical dilemma. How can we trust a system if nobody is allowed to examine how it works? So this is why experts advocate something called qualified transparency, another word of the day. What is this qualified transparency? This means the full source code may remain protected, but neutral judicial authorities must still be allowed to audit the AI's ethical behavior and the decision-making process. Because guys, at the end of the day, justice should never depend entirely on blind trust in a machine. One of the biggest challenges with AI law enforcement is that the internet has no borders, but the laws still do. Today, a single AI chatbot can interact with people from dozens of countries at the same time. However, every arrest still has to follow the laws of a specific country. For example, in the Jeremy's case study, Jeremy operated from a global server targeted someone from another country. But the actions performed by that person were not actually illegal in their own country. Do you understand what it means? It means that what Jeremy did is not illegal, is not legal in that other country. So this means that the AI system was essentially bypassing local laws and applying foreign enforcement onto another nation's citizen. So some experts describe this as creating a digital empire where one country AI system indirectly policies people around the world. So it's not fair. So this become an even bigger issue during 2025 and 2026 when multiple international incidents occurred involving people arrested in one country based on based on conversation with an AI chatbot from another country. So this is why international cooperation is extremely important. Two important concept guides in these discussions are national sovereignty and double criminality. So what are these? National sovereignty and double criminality. National sovereignty means that every country has the right to govern itself independently. However, double criminality means someone should only be prosecuted if the action is considered illegal in both of the countries involved. So this is why experts recommend international digital investigation following MLATs, mutual legal assistance treaties, to respect the boundaries of the digital economy. So now let us move into something more personal and more practical for all of us. Cybersecurity is not only the responsibility of the government, police, or the AI systems. It is also our responsibility as our digital users. Every day we interact with social medias, online shopping, education platform, and AI technologies. So I did some research. It says that usually most of the people in India use the Amazon for their online shopping, right? Is it right? Is it true? Because here in Malaysia, we usually use Shopee. You guys know Shopee, TikTok? And for your information, TMI, can you see the MC Plus logo? The MC Plus is basically the main education platform in Malaysia. Usually, most students who take important exam will be using the MC Plus for their educational purposes. So, what digital choices? So these are a few habits that you guys need to imply in your daily basis to ensure that you guys are staying safe online. So the first habit is to verify the source. By 2026, transparency is law. Many AI bots must identify themselves as non-human. A customer rep that's too persistent or too generous may be chatbot built to manipulate. So remember, if something's online feels suspicious or too good to be true, we should stop and verify the source first. Second is to protect your assets. Your personal information is valuable digital currency. Things like bank details, passwords, exam marks, and private photos can become targets for cyber criminals. And once these informations are shared online, it becomes very difficult to control where it goes afterward. And lastly is think before you click. Many scams depend on urgency and panics. One careless click can install malware, expose personal information, or even damage your device. So pause before claim your price, convenience, high risk, okay? So always pause and think before clicking unfamiliar links. Okay, now let us look at some simple but powerful cybersecurity habits. So these are 4 moves that keep the shield strong. You guys must use all these 4 moves in your daily life also. So the first two-factor authentication, or known as 2FA, this adds extra protection beyond just a password. So you guys has to enable 2FA on banking, email, any social apps. Basically, there's no exception. Second is to update your software. These software updates fix security weaknesses that hackers may already know about. For example, may I know who here are using iPhone? Are there anyone be using iPhone here? Yeah. So since iPhone has been dominating the markets, right? The Apple itself asks us to regularly update our software, right? However, there's one issue where if you don't have enough storage, you couldn't upgrade your updates your software. And this is a very crucial part, for me myself, I didn't have enough storage and I couldn't update my software. And so this is dangerous, and Malaysian government itself already encourage us to update our software. So you guys have to update your software to ensure that your phone is secure. And third, use a strong password. Use combination of uppercase letters, lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols. And never reuse passwords. And lastly, be careful with public Wi-Fi. Public networks can expose your data to attackers, which is why VPNs are important when handling sensitive information. So now we arrive at the very important question. The issue today is no longer can AI help catch criminal, because clearly I can help with catch criminals. The bigger question is, how far should we allow AI to go? Where should we draw the red lines? Because without human oversight, AI system may become too powerful, invasive, or unfair. So one major concern is something called automated guilt. Another word of the day. This happens when AI system labels someone suspicious too quickly. Sometimes based on one click, one conversation, or even one accidental interaction. For example, in the operation like Operation Alice 2036, experts worry that AI system may incorrectly profile users without understanding full context. So this is why human oversights remain extremely important, because humans provide empathy, ethical judgment, and cultural understanding. So following the February 2026 global statement on AI, the mission is to ensure transparency. Every student has the right to know if the person they are talking to online is actually a government bot designed to test their behavior. So people deserve to know whether they are speaking to a human or a government AI bot. This is dangerous. So the future goal is to move from black box AI to glass box AI. You imagine there's two boxes. One is a fully black box, and the other one is a glass box. In the black box, of course, it's dark. You cannot see what's hiding beneath, inside, or outside of the dark. Outside of the box. So which means that black box system hide their reasoning, and meanwhile the glass box is transparent. You can see what's inside, what's outside, which means that the glass box system are transparent, explainable, and accountable. When people understand how AI works, they trust the technology more. When you know what the apps promise you, you could use the apps securely. So this also connects to two important ideas: the digital shield and the digital sword. The digital shield protects users from cyber threats. Meanwhile, the digital swords represent ethical enforcement against cybercrime. But remember that sword must always remain under responsible human control, not uncontrolled algorithms designed to trap the easiest target. Finally, the section that everyone has been waiting for, the last part for today's webinar, which is the conclusion. To conclude today's presentation, AI is a very powerful tool. It can improve cybersecurity, assist law enforcement, and help detect threats faster than humans. But at the same time, AI must always operate within ethical boundaries. So one of the most important principles is the golden rule, human in the loop. So what is this human in the loop? It means that AI can process massive amounts of data quickly, but humans still provide empathy, ethical judgment, and accountability. And remember that final decision should always involve humans. Next is to build trust in the digital economy. Cybersecurity is all about trust. Ethical AI system increase public confidence, while transparent system help people feel safer online. And finally, the human element. Technology is only a tool. Remember that technology itself is not moral or immoral. Basically, AI is only a tool. The real responsibility always belongs to human, the developers, the organization, the governments, and users for their ethical decisions. So before I end my session today, I would like to leave everyone with one final thought. AI may become smarter every year, but ethics, empathy, and responsibility must always remain human. So that's all from me. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, ITM and KIT students, for your attention.
Thank you, Sarah Edina, for the insightful sharing with all of us today. From what Sarah Edina shared earlier, while AI can bring many benefits, ethics and responsibility should always come first.
Yes, that final thought really resonated with us. So now, everyone, it's time to fire up your devices once again for our next interactive quizzes blog covering for Sarah's ethical career segment.
May I ask all participants to scan the newly generated QR code on the screen or click on the direct link being shared right now in our chat boxes. Once again, slots are strictly limited to first 100 fast fingers to log in. So if you missed out on the first round, this is your chance to beat up the others. So let's see if our previous champions can defend their throne or if a new challenger will snatch the crown. So we will give a few moments for all of you to get ready. Okay, hurry up everyone, please join us.
We got another 20 seconds for you to scan the QR code before we start the quizzes. So let's hurry up, everyone.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Let's start the quiz now. Okay, for the first question, the internet has no borders, but laws do. Is it true or false? You have 25 seconds for this one. Okay, let's see if you answer already. Is it true or false? What do you think? I think it is. Well, is it true?
I don't know. I don't know. Let's wait for the answer.
And yes, the correct answer is true. A great start if you got that one right. Okay. Let's move on to our second question. Why are software updates important? You can see they improve wallpapers or they fix security flaws. Or maybe they remove files or they stop computers.
We may find the answer right now.
Okay, and that's correct. They fix security holes. So yes, those update reminders actually do matter. Okay, moving on to our next question. Please take a look at the image displayed on our screen. What is black box problem in AI? Okay, please choose the correct answer. AI will be a decision-making logic, a broken ecosystem, a password manager, or a firewall error. And yes, the answer is the hidden decision magic making logic. So basically, this refers to situations where the reasoning behind AI outputs is not transparent. Okay, on to our next question. What does algorithmic due process protect? Internet privacy, data rights, or the right to fair trial, or free software access. And yes, the correct answer is the right to a fair trial. Okay, moving on to our next question. What does double criminality mean? Answer is, and that's a crime that must exist in both countries. Cross-border law stuff can be tricky, but most of you got it right. Okay, almost there. On to our next question. What is the golden rule of AI on our side? And the answer is humans must remain involved in final decisions. Of course, AI can assist, but humans are still in charge. Okay, our final question. AI may become smarter every year, but ethics, empathy, and responsibility must always remain. Still in the mind, is it digital, virtual, automatic, or human? Guys,
We're almost there.
3, 2, 1. The answer is human. I hope everyone got it correctly. So that's the end of our quiz segment. Let's check out the leaderboard and see our top scorers. Okay, please wait a moment before we see our leaderboard. Thank you to everyone who participated in the quiz. We hope the activity helped reinforce some of the important concepts shared throughout today's session. Now that we have completed both presentations and quizzes, we will now proceed with our question and answer session.
To all the participants, if you have any question or comment, feel free to type them in the chat box. We would love to hear your thoughts. So we got one question here. So the question is, if AI becomes more accurate than humans at detecting crime, should it be allowed to make arrests without human involvement? Maybe Sarah or Kyril can answer this question.
Okay, if AI becomes more accurate than humans at detecting crime, should it be allowed to make arrests without human involvement? No. So even if AI becomes highly accurate, it lacks human qualities such as empathy, moral judgment, and contextual understanding. So AI can identify patterns, but it may misinterpret situations or fail to consider unique circumstances. So human oversight is necessary to ensure that fairness and protect individual rights. Yeah, that's from me.
Okay, thank you, Sarah, for the answer from our audience. I hope the question answers your
Question.
question.
Yes. Also,
Okay,
anyone have any more question to ask?
please type in the chat box. Okay, we have a question from Nurnaili Kamila. So, could criminals use the same AI technologies that law enforcement uses? If so, what risks would this create? So, may we have Cairo or Sarah to answer this question?
Okay, let me answer this question if possible. It's such a good question. So, could criminals use the same AI technologies that law enforcement uses? Yes, I think criminals could use AI chatbots to automate scams, disseminate trusted individuals, spread misinformation, or manipulate.
All right. Thank you so much, Cairo, for answering that question. So, on behalf of the organizing committee of the Sulak of Ethical, Social, and Professional Issues in ICT Perchat, including the CDCS 230 and CDCS 251 teams, we would like to sincerely thank the Faculty of the Computer and Mathematical Science UITM, our international partners, our speakers, and all the participants for joining us today.
We hope today's webinar has given everyone a better understanding of the ethical challenges of artificial intelligence in modern society.
Before we officially signing off and close the stream, let us all cooperate for the signing off of our University Pride song UITM Hati.
Thank you, everyone. Before we conclude, we would like to invite everyone to participate in a quick group photo to commemorate today's session. May I kindly request all VIPs, lecturers, speakers, family members, and participants to switch on your camera for a moment. We will give everyone a few seconds to get ready. One more
Please open the
time.
camera and smile.
One more time. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay, thank you everyone for your cooperation.
Photo session.
Before we end this session, we would like to request everyone to scan the QR code on the screen to complete the session to feedback as well as the post-program survey. Your feedback will definitely help us improve our future programs.
Please take a few moments. Please take a few moments to fill them out. Do take note that there are 2 separate forms in total. The first is the feedback form for our morning session, and the second is the session to feedback form that you can see on the screen right now. So if you're completing both of this form is required, completing both of the form is required for you to be qualified to receive your digital certificate of your participation. So please make sure you have submitted both before you signing off today. Thank you so much, everyone, for your amazing cooperation and highly energy throughout today's event.
It has been an absolute honor hosting this session alongside you, Aina, as we officially wrap up this Sulab International webinar on Digital Ethics 101. We hope the knowledge shared today equips you to navigate the digital world safely, responsibly, and ethically.
To our brilliant speakers, our respected lecturers, our technical crew, and our wonderful participants from both UiTM Malaysia and India, thank you for making this cross-border collaboration a huge success.
Until we meet again in our next program, take care, stay secure online, and have a wonderful day ahead.
Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you and goodbye.